Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. It must be Monday because here we are. And this is our very live and probably very likely very little uncut version on Monday. We won't tell you that we're recording on Monday. That's a secret. But here we are back again. And you might remember from the last couple of times that we were sharing that we talked about the Bible in the first session, how it has history, it has accuracy and a good track record. We talked about truth. And we talked about the fact that today, in our culture, it's not even what is truth that's being asked. They just flip it around to, is there truth? And then, unfortunately, many people, just like the man who said, is there truth? They don't wait for the answer. They walk away and they create their own truth and assume that's okay. But we talked about the fact that the way we find out whether something's true or not is we see if our opinions change it or don't change it. Does it stay the same, or can I alter it with my opinion? And there just are some things that stay the same. You can't change them no matter what you think or what anybody thinks, or even if we vote on it, or it doesn't matter. It's a law, it's a principle that stays the same. And so you can kind of tell, oh, that must be true because it's fixed. So that's the simplest form of that. But I want to move a little bit further on today and talk about a real specific part of truth. And it's a little tricky to talk about it because it sounds like it's subjective, but it's really not. It's extremely important for where we're going. Because truth sometimes is more than just a set of facts. Now, for example, each human being has a genetic code. I think we know that. We live in an age of science, and everybody has heard of the human genome and the DNA code and so on. And did you know that in your DNA code, what it takes to make you, one of you, there are 3 billion letters? Now, I was thinking about that the other day, and if you could memorize all 3 billion of those letters, let me see you memorize 3 billion of anything and I'll be impressed. But those 3 billion letters, you could memorize them in sequence. You could identify every gene in your body and what it does, how you got your hair color, your eye color, the structure of your face, your bones, the inflection in your voice because your voice box was created a certain way, and on and on and on. And you could memorize all that. Good luck, but you could. And if you could get all that information, and then you could go even further and take each one of your parents and memorize all of their information and get all that nailed down. You could have all that information laid out and still not know the person whose code you memorized. Because human beings are more than just a set of facts about something. And why is that important? Well, because we talked about the Bible in the beginning, and the Bible is a set of books. It's a book made up of books. It's written about the history of the relationship between God and men. And there's a lot of information about God in that book. But you know, a lot of people read the Bible, a lot of people memorize it, they study it, and they know lots about it. They probably know about things that I've never heard of. But you know, you could memorize that entire book and not know anything about God, because God is not a set of facts. He's not a concept. He's not an idea. He is a person. And you know, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 1 that we are created in His image. So if we look at ourselves just a little bit, we have feelings. And you know, and we have motives, we have intentions. And those can't always be measured by what we do. Sometimes by just looking at actions or having somebody tell you about actions doesn't tell you a whole lot about that person. But when you get to know them, you know their motivations, their intentions, you know why they do things, you're able to hear their voice and look into their eyes and see what their eyes look like and see body language. You can learn a lot more than just reading a report or having a set of facts reported to you by somebody else. And as we move on in these videos, that's the direction that we're going to take. We're not just going to be talking about facts and figures and information, although we'll use some of that. But where I want to go is to really take a look at the fact that God is a person. He can be known, And it's important to not just look at facts or even just make a compilation of those facts. There has to be a time when we actually meet that person and we get to know him. And I believe that that is possible, that we can actually meet and know and have a relationship with God in the present. And the next time that we're back with you, we're going to talk about that. So I hope that encourages you, because, even for many people that have come to church, we'll just even talk about that for a second before we sign off for the day. There's a lot of things about church that people have in their minds that actually have nothing to do with what it really is. We have information that was gleaned from maybe second, third, or fourth hand sources, so we've got an idea. Okay, it's a building, it's a set of furniture, it's certain clothes, it's talking in a certain way, it's doing certain things, certain kinds of music. We have all our big list of things. And when you boil it down to what it's really all about, it means a group of called out people. So it's not about things or ceremonies and rituals and traditions and so on. It's about people. And in the same way as we have maybe missed some of those things, we've missed a lot about God because we've boiled him down to a concept, an idea, or a code, facts and figures, but we forgot that he's a person. And we want to come back to talking about the person and not just the facts. So when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he wasn't just talking about a set of factual statements. He was talking about himself as a person. And that's what we're going to get into next time. So thank you very much for watching. And if any of these are helpful and they encourage you, or they clear up any misconceptions, or they're just of any benefit to you, and you say, hey, I think somebody else would like it, feel free to share any of these with anybody you know. Thanks for watching. Have a good week.